The News Day continues here on One News Now. I'm Jess De Los Santos. We'll now throw you over to the PSA for the live June inflation report. Let's listen in.
Pangatlong commodity group na nagpakita ng mas mataas na antas ng inflation nitong Hunyo 2022 ay ang alcoholic beverages and tobacco na may 7.8% inflation at 3.0% share sa pagtaas ng pangkalatang inflation sa bansa. Ito ay dahil sa mas mabilis na pagtaas ng presyo ng mga sumusunod. Sigarilyo na may 8.9% inflation mula sa 7.8% inflation noong Mayo. Beer na may 6.2% inflation mula sa 5.3% inflation noong Mayo 2022. At spirits and liquors na may 5.2% inflation mula sa 4.9% inflation noong Mayo 2022. Pagdating sa overall inflation nitong Hunyo 2022, ang pangunahing nag-ambag ay ang food and non-alcoholic beverages na may 6.0% inflation at 37.4% share. Ang mga pangkat ng pagkain na pangunahing nag-ambag sa inflation ng food and non-alcoholic beverages ay ang mga sumusunod. Meat and other parts of slaughtered land animals gaya ng manok na may 8.1% inflation. Vegetables, tubers, cooking bananas at iba pa, partikular ang kamatis na may 14.4% inflation. Fish and other seafood tulad ng bangus na may 6.7% inflation. Ang pangalawang commodity group na may pinakamalaking ambag sa pangkalatang inflation ay ang transport na may inflation na 17.1% at 25.5% share sa pangkalatang inflation. Ito ay dahil sa patuloy na pagtaas ng presyo ng mga sumusunod. Gasoline na may 53.9% inflation. Diesel na may 92.5% inflation at other passenger transport by road tulad ng pamasahe sa jeep na may 2.7% inflation. Ang housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels ang ikatlo sa may pinakamalaking ambag sa pangkalatang inflation nitong Hunyo 2022. Ang commodity group na ito ay nagtala ng 6.6% inflation at 23.3% share. Ang mga pangunahing nag-ambag sa inflation ng housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels ay ang mga sumusunod. Kuryente na may 19.2% inflation. LPG na may 26.5% inflation at renta sa bahay na may 1.6% inflation. Sa 13 commodity groups, 9 ang nagtala ng mas mabilis na pagtaas ng presyo nitong Hunyo 2022. Ito ay ang mga sumusunod. Food and non-alcoholic beverages na may 6.0% inflation. Alcoholic beverages and tobacco na may 7.8% inflation. Clothing and footwear na may 2.2% inflation. Housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels na may 6.6% inflation. Furnishing, household equipment, and routine household maintenance na may 2.9% inflation. Health na may 2.6% inflation. Transport na may 17.1% inflation. Recreation, sport, and culture na may 1.9% inflation. At personal care and miscellaneous goods and services na may 2.6% inflation. Samantala, nagpakita rin ng pagtaas ng presyo ngunit sa mas mabagal na antas ang information and communication na may 0.5% inflation. Nanatili naman sa kanilang antas ng inflation noong Mayo 2022 ang mga sumusunod na commodity groups. Education services na may 0.6% inflation. Restaurants and accommodation services na may 2.8% inflation at financial services na may 0% inflation. Sa National Capital Region, ang inflation nitong Hunyo 2022 ay bumilis sa antas na 5.6% mula sa 4.7% inflation noong Mayo 2022. Noong Hunyo 2021, ang inflation sa National Capital Region ay naitala sa 2.6%. Ang dahilan ng pagtaas ng antas ng inflation sa National Capital Region ay ang mas mataas na presyo ng food and non-alcoholic beverages na may 6.1% inflation at 46.5% share sa pagtaas ng inflation nitong Hunyo 2022. Ito ay dahil sa mas mabilis sa pagtaas ng mga sumusunod: meat and other parts of slaughtered land animals gaya ng manok na may 9.1% inflation mula sa 4.9% inflation noong Mayo 2022, at milk, other dairy products and eggs, partikular ang itlog na may 4.9% inflation mula sa 2.7% inflation noong Mayo 2022. Bukod dito ay ang mas mabagal na pagbaba ng presyo ng fruits and nuts tulad ng mangga na may negative 4.8% inflation mula sa negative 10.5% inflation noong Mayo 2022. Ang pangalawang commodity group na dahilan ng pagtaas ng antas ng inflation sa National Capital Region ay ang transport na may 17.2% inflation at 28.9% share sa pagtaas ng inflation nitong Hunyo 2022. Ito ay dahil sa mas mabilis sa pagtaas ng presyo ng mga sumusunod: other passenger transport by road tulad ng pamasahe.
Again, you just heard Claire Dennis Mapa from the Philippine Statistics Authority detailing, of course, the June inflation report. Again, that came in at 6.1%, up from the 5.4% inflation report back in May. This, of course, is the quickest inflation report that we've had since October 2018. Main source of inflation still, of course, from the food and non-alcoholic beverages segment here, with increases at 6%. That's up from just 4.9% in May. Most major commodities from meat, even rice and fruits and other goods also registering increases for the month of June. Year-to-date inflation is already at 4.4%. That's beyond government target of 2 to 4%. Now, meanwhile, in other news, San Miguel says it will proceed with building the new Manila International Airport in Bulacan. That's despite the presidential veto of a bill that would have created a special ecozone there. Now, San Miguel President Ramon Ang says the company respects and abides by the government's decision. But he also said San Miguel remains committed to building the airport, which it sees as the primary solution to decongesting NAIA. Now, for more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News Live anytime, anywhere. I'm Jess De Los Santos. Business World Live is coming up next at 9:30 a.m. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe. Philippines, we are One News, all sides, all the time.